Good morning. Thank you very much, Superintendent Weiss, members of the Chicago Police Department, Class 10-1, and their family and friends. On behalf of the people of the City of Chicago, I personally want to thank each and every one of you for becoming a member of the finest police department in this country. We're very proud of the record and the history of the Chicago Police Department. But most important, you have taken an oath. And someone, maybe in your family, your mother or father or brother or sister, aunt or uncle, or just a friend, was a member of the Chicago Police Department or a member of law enforcement. You decided many years ago to become a member of law enforcement in the city of Chicago. Or somewhere in your career you decided to make a change and become a public servant, member of the Chicago Police Department. This is a tremendous job. It is a job with core values. And the core values are professionalism, the core value of obligation, leadership, integrity, courage, and excellence. And I firmly believe that's what the Chicago Police Department has always stood for. I want to thank the Training and Education Division of the Chicago Police Department, your sergeants, your command officers, all those that have worked very hard in training you in order to become a better police officer and a better citizen. You have decided to become a member of the Chicago Police Department. You have decided to put a uniform on, just like men and women in the military, each day who volunteer, take the oath of office, decide to serve this country in the same fashion. And that's why in the next exam, we're taking the highest priority in the city of Chicago to try to get as many members of the military who are serving today and served in the past to make sure they take the police test. This is very important. We have a responsibility as citizens to never forget the men and women in the military who leave the military and many times are forgotten. And that is why we are working very closely with the military to make sure they can take the test as anyone else who lives in America, who are not in a military station or overseas. I think that's very, very important. These are your brothers and sisters of your generation that are serving our country in the same fashion you're serving the people of the city of Chicago, and we cannot forget them. But most importantly, you have to remember as a police officer, you're not responsible for those who maybe decided to break up their family. You're not responsible for those who leave their children out till 2 in the morning. You're not responsible for someone who raped a young girl. You're not responsible for the shooting in a family situation. You're not responsible for those who prey upon seniors. What you are is in between good and evil. You are good, and there's evil over there. And there is evil in our society, in every aspect of our society. And you must remember that. You cannot lose your job and your profession because a person has got to you in some way. We see too many situations where a police officer, unfortunately, in good-hearted, loses his emotion or her emotions. And what happens? A tragedy takes place. You lose your job. You lose everything in your family. For all the things you have worked so hard for, you have lost everything in that split decision. And you must remember, you're always under a microscope. You're always under a camera. You have to make a split decision. Judges don't make that decisions. Mayors don't make that decisions. Lawyers don't make that decisions. Doctors don't make that decisions. You have to make a decision, and you're scrutinized by everyone on that decision. And that's why Adam pointed out, make sure you gather the facts, and you make the decision, you have the facts with you. And that is very, very important. We believe in you. Your family believes in you. The city believes in you. Another generation of young men and women in the Chicago Police Department. After 21 years, have seen graduation after graduation of young men and women. I am more confident today, more confident that this police department will not only be the best in the country, but the best in the world because of the young men and women who have entered the Chicago Police Department over 21 years. You are the future leaders. You're leaders today. You're the future leaders of this great Chicago Police Department. And just south of us, there is a memorial on behalf of the Chicago Police Department. I know you have visited that, and you have to read the names of people and find out who they are, find out who their families were. They sacrificed their life for us. They had sons and daughters and grandchildren. They had spouses. All that, they're a human being. It's just not a plaque, it's just not a star number, but there's a face and family behind you. And that's what you have to remember. This is a great police department because of men and women like you have the core values, and you have to have core values in your profession and core values in your life. That doesn't mean people will make mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody has faults. But I believe when you put that uniform on at all times, you represent the best and the brightest here in the Chicago Police Department. And serving, protecting, you serve and protect. But we are not the educators. We are not the lawyers. We are not the psychiatrists. We are not the mothers and fathers. What you're going to see sometimes the worst of society. But at the same time, you see the good of society. There are many, many people out there who continue to believe in CAPS, who want to work with you. Many times they're afraid. Many times they can't be eloquent and say what they want to say. And many times they don't say thank you. But we see it every day, people thanking you in different ways of helping them. You have to remember, most people who go to a police station or a policeman responds to a home, it's not in good times. It's the most difficult times. You have to ring the doorbell and tell someone their son or daughter is dead. Or you arrive, that someone else is in jeopardy, that they're getting a call, there's an argument in a family, and you have to separate that. And so many times you think they don't appreciate it, but looking back, I firmly believe they appreciated that. And the interesting thing about CAPS is they have to take command of their families and their community. We can only do so much. They have to be able to do that. And that's their responsibility. They have to pledge themselves that within their family, within their block and their community, they can do better. Drug dealers don't belong in communities and gangbangers. They don't come from some other community. They're born and raised there. If there are drugs on a block, there must be silence on the block. And that's why it's up to our responsibility to end the code of silence. Yes, we have to do that, because if we don't, it preys upon more and more younger people. And that's why CAPS are so important for us to get more and more people, every block, every community, every church involved in the CAPS program. Last Saturday, we just dedicated the 23rd Police District, the Town Hall Police District. And to see the men and women in the Chicago Police Department and see everything that we've accomplished in that police district, a community hall, making sure that the police officers, locker rooms, workout facilities, showers, parking, all the things, amenities, they're important when they go to and from work. Because once they get there, they know they have to take responsibility. And making sure in all your career that you're coming home safe to your family. Do not jeopardize in one bad decision. And make sure that you and your partner keep safe at all times. I want to see you up here someday. I want to see you here someday looking down upon, or in the audience, your son or daughter or someone that you know who wants to join the Chicago Police Department. This police department belongs to your generation. I am more and more confident as I meet each and every one of you over 21 years that this department has the core values that I talked about, but most importantly, has the confidence and character that can carry out the mission of serving and protecting the people of the city of Chicago. God bless you, and God bless your family. Thank you very much.